Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1. It says, let us throw away everything that hinders us, and it calls them sins and entanglements, and run the race with patience. Let us throw away everything that hinders us, sin and distraction, and run the race with patience. And run the race with patience. So if a man is not reset, at some point distraction can either delay his journey or can cause him to deviate. So when you are reset, weights are taken off your life. In this meeting, you will find out that many distractions of destiny will be broken. There are some young men, they wasted their youth on video game. It's not a sin. But when they should be studying, they are playing PS. And they play PS from the age of 19 to the age of 35. It's when they get married, they can't pay school fees. That's when they are now going to find out, how does business work? Oga, you are supposed to know how business work at 21. Why are you learning it at 35? PS ate his destiny. So when we talk weight, they are weights indeed. When God resets you, you discover those appetites are modified. So when you see people wasting their lives, you don't desire it. They say, let's go clubbing. You say, no, I don't feel like. It's a waste. Meanwhile, there are people that on Friday from 2 p.m. their body is itching them, because from 8 the club has opened, and so they can't think on Friday. Club is a weight. There are some people that when it's 4 p.m. their throat is dry. Why? They must drink 3 bottles of Star Lager beer. If they don't take Star, they can't rest. So the whole of Friday they are waiting for 4 p.m. and when it's 4 they come alive. And when they are done taking alcohol, they now damage their own families, and Satan is just pumping it. They are weights, they are sins. The Bible said they beset us. This is why you need reset. Number 2, why do you need reset? You need reset in able to overcome spiritual stagnation. There are certain people that have been at one spot for the past 10 years. All they need is one inspiration, but they can't get it. If they were able to catch that one inspiration, their life would have shifted. And so they are there, and they are laboring with all their might. You know, when you are stagnated, it's like standing in mud. If you don't struggle, you remain. If you struggle, you sink. Meanwhile, you cannot not just remain. You have to struggle. So the more you struggle, the more you sink. That's the mystery of stagnation. When God resets you, he brings help to lift you from stagnation. He pulls you out. So it is no longer by your own strength, it's by a strength beyond you. So in the company of the righteous, such possibilities exist, but it takes a reset for it to happen. This is why those who understand it, they cry for it. In Psalm 85 verse 6, it says, will you not revive us again, that your people may rejoice in you? Will you not revive us again? We have been here for too long. We have struggled. The more we struggle, the more we go back. The more we struggle, the more we sink. Will you not revive us again? We have been stagnated. We've done all we know. There's a refreshing we require. There's a light we require. There's a push we require. That is what God comes to do when he resets a man's life. He shifts him by his power, and that man discovers that he has moved not by his own strength, but by an external force. Because sometimes when God resets, he doesn't reset you, he resets your environment. It's an intelligence. It happens in the demonic realm. I know it by experience. Some years ago, I was praying did my degree, did masters. I was on one spot. I thought when I added more certificates, things will happen. The more you add, the more you become unemployable. If you had degree, they would have managed you in that school. Now that you have masters, we can't pay you. And I began to seek God. Help, Lord. Help, Lord. I was praying in my room, and suddenly my eyes opened. The walls vanished. And I saw two creatures. One had several horns. Another one looked like a man that was exhumed from the grave. What is this? He said, these are the princes that control the outcome of the destiny of your family. And as we were talking, I discovered my room was in my village. When did I transport? That means no matter where I travel to, I was still in my father's compound. If you like, go to London. You are seeing London Bridge. Oga, you are in Otuba. Until your environment is reset, your labor is wasted. As I was praying, the Lord told me their powers are locked into four things: pride, alcoholism, womanizing, and lying. He said, avoid it to become invincible. That is reset. I was still a HOD teaching in the lab when calls began to come from the nations. The question is, where were these people? They couldn't see me. I was covered. But when the environment was reconstructed, I became visible. In 1 month, I received what I couldn't earn in 1 year. I now discovered I was in the wrong place. I went to the vice principal and appreciated him. You know, you guys have been very nice, but it's time. I began to talk like a big man. I begin to sense my reality. I'm not a chemistry teacher. I'm an answer to a generation. You know, there are scriptures you can't believe until something happens. It became real to me. Though you were a desolate land, no man went through you. I have made you an eternal excellency, the joy of many generations. When I came to the school, suddenly the school became small. Is it the big school? When I entered my lab, it was like a box, because my account was swollen up. I said, is this the lab I come to enter every day? How did I squeeze into this lab? Come on, man. I went to my house. Suddenly my body became noisy. And I said, what is happening? Why is this city not developing? I started getting ideas, because something has happened. See, in the name of Jesus, anything that needs to change for you to change, they change now. We are talking about reset. God changes your environment. See, there are many thoughts you can't have now. There are many inspirations you can't have until a reset takes place. That's when you discover that it's also okay for me to sit with kings. It's also okay for me to be heard. I'm not meant for the back after all. I too should be in front, because Satan will blind you until God resets you. In the name of Jesus, receive your resetting program now. Please sit down for a moment. Why do you need a reset? To refocus on God's will and God's purpose for your life. If God does not reset you, see, there are people who are in a state in life. They say, this is where I should be. This is what I should be doing. But for now, in order to survive, I have to do this. And there are many like that. Because there is another program running their lives. All they need is somebody to recommend them so that they can be brought to where they should be. But that person never appears. So somebody who should be giving wisdom to rulers is doing Uber. And he said, this is what we are managing for now. Even him knows that this is not God's plan. But because he can't enter God's plan, he's managing one for now. As you leave this conference, everything you are managing for now will be broken. And you will step into God's plan for your life. In the name of Jesus.